Hi everybody, this is Tammy from Winky World Adventures, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about our budget. You know, when we moved down here to Florida from Minnesota this past October, so many people were asking us a lot of questions in terms of how can you do it, and trying to dissuade us from doing it almost, in terms of thinking that Florida is too expensive. Especially in some Facebook groups that we're a part of, there was a lot of commenting pertaining to Florida being cost prohibitive now in terms, with inflation and everything, thinking no one can live here unless you have a lot of money. But we're going to show you today that we are making it just fine. We're living pretty minimalistically, obviously, but we're doing it. And so I'm going to be going over our budget and how we've made it so far. Now, this last 3 months, what I did was I kind of took an average. I put, I figured out all our expenses and figured out what the average has been so far. Now, there might be some fluctuation, obviously, especially as we get closer to summer, because our air conditioning costs might be a little higher than what we're paying for electricity right now. So we're expecting there to be some variation, but in general, it'll give you an idea, a picture of what a person might be spending if they want to live cheaply in Florida. Okay, so I need to give you a couple of disclaimers first. Now, we really don't have any debt to speak of. We have some credit cards, obviously, but we use one credit card and we pay it off every month so that we don't accumulate any debt. And we do get 2% back on that credit card. So in a way, we're actually, making a little money there, which helps our budget as well with the 2%. I know it doesn't sound like much. And then also, we do still owe a little bit of money on Ron's truck. So even though we say we're debt-free, we will have that paid off in July. We were going to pay it off before we moved down here, but then we realized there was no cost benefit in doing that. We would not have saved any money. So we're just making those last few payments and we'll have that paid off in July. We're not going to have that in the budget today. I'm also not including any startup costs that we had when we got down here, to get our driver's licenses and titles and things. But if I could make another video on that, if you're interested in, the actual moving expenses and what it took to move down here, I could do that later. But this is just the basic living month to month. I also didn't include any costs in terms of, when we first moved in, getting the bedspread or, some of the things that we bought in terms of the new toilet, things like that were just kind of first time expenses. This is just the ongoing budget of a month to month type of thing. Okay, so what I did was I figured out all our expenses except for any travel related expenses. Obviously the cruises we left out of there, that we consider extra, out of our savings. So that's not included either. But I typed out a budget and kind of what we've been spending, an average of the last 3 months. And what I'm going to do is, as I talk, I'll show you on here the exact amounts that we spent. So the first category is our RV park lot fee. We have to pay a rental fee to rent this lot. Even though this fifth wheeler's been here and tied down, we do still have to pay a rental fee for that. It was only $390. It just went up as of the 1st of January. So now it's going to be $412 a month. That does include garbage, sewer, and water. So $412 for that. Now, we've chosen at this point not to get propane hooked up. There is a hookup for it if we want to run the oven at some point or the furnace. So we don't have any money right now, zero on propane. We did check into it. It's about $250 to hook up the tank, and it's a yearly fee that you pay. And then the cost of the propane, which probably wouldn't be much. They bring a pretty big tank. But at this point in time, it's zero. We're getting by just fine on electricity. And for the electricity, an average right now has been $73 a month. Now, we did run the air conditioner throughout the summer, last summer, We put it on like 85, which was kind of a mistake. We wish we would have lowered it a little because, yeah, if you saw those videos, you'll know why when we first got here. But that was only $40 a month through the summer. We know it's going to go up, obviously, this summer. But the average so far has been $73 a month for electricity. Now, for phone and internet, we get our phone and internet through Verizon. And this is kind of funny. I need to make a video on this someday, too. We had home internet through Verizon before we moved down here in Minnesota. Now, supposedly, they told us it would not work in the area that we're in here in Florida, but it does. It works really great. So we're keeping that presently. We still have the router and it's working. And we need that in order to upload our videos. It's only $25 a month add-on to our phone at this point in time. So, you know, we don't really want to get any other high-speed internet. The park here does have free internet. So if we weren't YouTubers, guys, we would probably just use the free internet here. We have tried it a couple times and it works well. Or you can also upgrade that internet, and I think it's like $25 a month if you want the real high-speed internet through them. So right now with the phones, we have 2 phones and we are making payments on our phones still. And, you know, we need to have good iPhones in order to do the YouTube. And also the high-speed internet, we're paying $255. So that is high. We would like to see that come down at some point, and we're going to keep working on trying to figure out how to do that. Finding cheaper phone service and what have you. Okay, then we get into a real interesting area. This is one that a lot of people had opinions on Facebook. The insurance. You know, you hear a lot of people say, oh, the insurance is too high in Florida. You just can't afford it. You can't live there. Well, we found it not to be too bad. We are paying for the 5th wheel. Again, this is considered like a mobile home because we have it tied down. So we had a little bit of trouble finding insurance for that, but we did find some. And so we're just paying an annual rate. So it's $1,075.46 annually, but it breaks down to $89.62 a month for the insurance on our home base here. Oh, by the way, that is through a separate company. I'll put the name down here at the bottom because we did use an agent to find that here locally. And if you're moving, I highly recommend you find a local agent who can help you because it's really difficult to find insurance on your own. We tried. Okay, then the Ram truck, we pay $163.67 a month. We also pay that every 6 months because we could save a little bit of money that way. So it's $982 every 6 months. And we have this app on our phone right now called IntelliDrive. It's through Travelers Insurance. And if we have good driving, which we have been, they're actually going to lower that rate after 6 months. So that'll go down a little bit coming up here. Okay, then the insurance on our Jayco travel trailer. Because we do have that parked here at the park, not right next to us here, but in a different storage area. That is only $32.75 through Progressive. So that is not bad at all. And we did use another agent to help us find both of those insurances as well. So if you want names or anything, let us know. Now the health insurance, I'm going to be doing a video on this very shortly. We are not paying anything presently. When we moved down here, obviously Ron's not working anymore, and I've just been working very little, doing some online work. So it's zero because of our income dropping and moving. We were able to get marketplace insurance, and it's zero. And there's a lot of good plans out there we've found. We're using one called Florida Blue. So it's, you know, not a super high deductible, but it has good care, free well care visits and things like that. And it covers the catastrophic kinds of things. And that's what we really wanted to make sure we had set in place, but it's good. Okay, moving on. We just joined a health club, Planet Fitness, because there's a couple locations near us that we can go to. And we've decided to make our health a real priority, and that's important to us. because if we don't have our health, we can't really do anything. So we're going to Planet Fitness. It's $55 a month for both of us. So we consider that an investment in our health. And we're thinking we may even get part of that credited back through our health insurance. We're still checking into that piece. But yeah, it's $55 a month. Now we have a storage in Minnesota. And we do still, you probably saw that on some prior videos before we moved. But we're planning to hopefully get rid of that soon. We're going back for a wedding this summer and hope to get rid of a few more things and bring a few more things down here in the travel trailer again, like we did last year. So hopefully we can get rid of that payment soon, because that's $90 a month. Now the storage for our travel trailer here is $0. We're so lucky to have a good park. You know, it's a low cost park. And when we got here, we were shocked when we said, you know, how much is it to store our travel trailer? And they said, oh, nothing. It's okay. So, and it's a real nice area back in. It's so safe here. And there's a lot of parks like this. You know, when we were in Minnesota, we had no clue. We didn't realize that in Central Florida, there are so many RV parks. So if you call around or, you know, drive around if you're down here at some point, you can find a lot of these little parks and little communities, smaller towns that are cheaper. And we're in an over 55 park, obviously, but you can find very inexpensive places. Ours doesn't have a pool, and I think that plays a huge role in why it's so cheap. So if you're not set on having all the amenities, you can save a lot of money. Okay, the next one is kind of a chunk of change. I was kind of surprised by this one. And our gas, oil changes, and car washes, which he doesn't wash the truck that often, but it amounted to $212.80 a month. So that's a little bit high. We do use an app to kind of help us get some money back from our gas, and I'll write the name down here on the bottom. I did do a video on that a while back. So we get a little bit of cash back, but I didn't include that in here. So I think part of it is because we did drive quite a bit these last 3 months, you know, getting acclimated. We were exploring a little bit. We went on the cruise, so we had to drive way over to Port Canaveral. Actually, we drove over there 3 times, down to Tampa once, and to Orlando like 4 or 5 times, I think. So, you know, it all added up. I don't think we'll be doing quite as much driving here on out. So we're trying to plan so we have fewer trips. Like when we work out now, we're trying to combine trips so we do grocery shopping at the same time, and that's working well so far. Another expense that we were kind of surprised by were the tolls. You know, we had no tolls in Minnesota that we ever paid. So we were a little shocked when we got down here. At first we were doing the pay by plate because we wanted to wait until we got the license plate switched over to get the Sun Pass. So at first it was a little higher than what it should have been, but it added up quickly. Now we have the Sun Pass. We got that at the beginning of December, and that's saving a little bit on the money. But yeah, we have been spending about $66.34 a month on tolls. Again, with all those trips over to Port Canaveral, that did add up. Now we've been looking at the maps though, and you know, in the Google Maps and things, Apple Maps, there is a thing in there where it will find you different routes to go that you don't have to pay tolls. So we're trying to plan a little bit better so we allow more time and can take some of those routes and not pay the high tolls because they do add up quickly. Okay, the next one is a huge expense for us. And you can see that our groceries and other expenses that it's hard for us to divide them out because it's all kind of lumped together on the receipt, and I didn't really want to divide them piecemeal. But we get groceries and things at Aldi, Costco, Walmart, obviously, Whole Foods. We do try to eat healthy and organically as much as possible. So that adds up, and we included in here anything for the cats, like cat food, cat litter, and personal expenses like shaving cream, shampoo are all added in there as well. So it came out to $631.89, which is high. We are looking for ways to cut that down. We're real careful in knowing what groceries cost and trying to go to the cheapest location to find the cheapest thing. So that's why we go to so many different stores. And even we tried Winn-Dixie, we tried Publix, which are huge down here in Florida. They have apps where you can have coupons and buy one, get one free. So if we do need something quick, we can go there, and sometimes I look in their app and try to find deals. So we're going there once in a while too, but yeah, you know, it's hard in that area for us to save money because, yeah, we do kind of lump everything together in one category. All right, the next one is our hair care, and the average for 3 months, and this might go down a little bit, guys. It's been $44.27 a month. I did have my hair highlighted a little bit, which really rose the curve on that one. And sometimes I'll give Ron a haircut. I just didn't do it this time, so he's had a couple haircuts and had to pay for that. But so that one, you know, that fluctuates a little bit. But for these 3 months, it was $44.27. And then we have the clothing costs. Now, we don't buy much clothing as minimalists. We try to thrift. We try to, you know, keep our same clothes and use them until they're worn out. But we did have to buy a few things. I got a couple things for the cruise and some things. So, you know, average $25.59 a month. I don't think that's too bad. There's always something that you have to replace, it seems. And then, of course, we have to wash those clothes. So we have to do laundry here at the park. We have a little laundromat that we go use. It's a little spendy, but the convenience of having it cheaper or closer to us, and actually cheaper than the other laundromats in the area when we looked, is nice. You know, it's just an easy walk over there, quick, and we can get it all done at once. So that helps. So that's the laundry. Now, Amazon Prime. This is kind of a touchy one for a lot of people. You know, some people think that's kind of a wasteful thing, but we have a lot of things delivered here. You know, with just moving in and the YouTube channel, Christmas presents. I had Christmas presents delivered up to Alaska, to our son up there, and to Minnesota, and I could still use the Amazon Prime. I mean, that would have really added up. I'm pretty sure we would have hit the amount that it costs for the yearly membership just on that alone. But it comes out to $11.58 a month, $139 annually. That does include all the photo storage. We still store all our photos in Amazon, and we really love that. And it also includes their movies, so we watch on their Prime quite a bit, different movies and things like that. So for us, it's a good deal. You know, if we had to drive to get these things, we'd be spending gas money. So we're getting things delivered here. So I think it's pretty cost effective for us to use that Amazon Prime. Now, we don't have a lot of subscription services anymore. We used to have like Disney Plus. We had Apple TV is actually included with our phone service now, which is kind of cool, and Apple Music too. So, because we have the unlimited Verizon, so that's included. So we don't need a whole lot of, you know, extra streaming services, but we do still have Netflix. Now, we were paying 17 something a month, but just a month ago, or actually 2 months ago, I switched down to the one with commercials. So now we're only going to be paying $7.58 a month. And we're fine with the commercials. We use that as a time to get up and go to the bathroom or get a snack. So, you know, it's cheaper, $7.58. Okay, the Costco membership. Okay, that is $60 a year, and it breaks down to $5 a month. We feel like that's worth it. We fill up with gas too when we go there because their gas is so cheap. Really a good deal. But we buy in bulk on a few things, and some of the organic things I was talking about, we can find them there, and they're way cheaper than what we would pay in the regular stores. Like Ron gets a huge bulk bag of walnuts. We go through a lot of walnuts, and peanut butter, organic peanut butter. We always buy those there. Goji berries, things that maybe you don't necessarily find in the other stores at a way cheaper price. So we have our certain items that we always go there to get. And so for us, it is a good deal. There's a Costco in Orlando, a couple of them, and one in Tampa. So we've tried them out, and it's not that far. Again, we're trying to do those trips about once a month so that we're not driving too much. Okay, entertainment. This one is all over the charts. You know, it's hard to estimate, right? But in general, I looked over the last few months, and we've been spending about $50 a month, not including the cruises. That's an extra one. With our channel and things too, you know, we do kind of look for things to do, whether it's going to a state park like we are tomorrow. That's only a $3 entrance fee. So things like that, you know, that aren't too expensive, but we want to have a little spending money there for entertainment or going to a movie or something like that. Okay, eating out. This one kind of added up, but you know, again, with our vlogging and things, and we do like to eat out once in a while. We spent $88.27 a month average, which isn't too bad. That, you know, includes like our trip to Mount Dora. We ate out that night. Ron's birthday, I think we ate out. So we don't eat out a lot, but we do once in a while. The other day we split a Publix foot-long sandwich, and that was only $8 and something. So we've got our little places we go, you know, for both of us. Panera has a sandwich we really like, and we share. So we share things when we go out too, and that was like $7 and something, I think. And we try to drink water when we go out to eat. But that's, you know, for the whole month. And with all the exploring we did, I'm not surprised. Okay, now the home maintenance, this is another one that can be all over the map. But I broke it down to just the basics. You know, we didn't add in the toilet or anything like that, or the roof expenses, although even that was not very expensive. It's going to be probably about $50 a month, we think, just for normal upkeep on things and what have you. So extra stuff, like if we want to buy plants and do a little landscaping, which we're planning right now, that's going to have to come out of our savings. That wouldn't be in the normal budget. Okay, so that's pretty much the breakdown of our budget and what we spend in a month. I hope that was helpful to you. Now, yours might look way different. You know, if you're considering moving to Florida, if you have children, for instance, or if you wanted to buy a house, it's probably going to be way different. You know, we don't have to pay any taxes, obviously, here, which helps on our place where we're living. Obviously, if you have a house or a townhouse or something, you may have to pay taxes. You're probably going to have to pay HOA fees, things like that sometimes. So we're lucky here we don't have those. But if you're looking into those type of places, consider those expenses as well. That's the breakdown. And I just wanted to show you that it is possible to live down here at a fairly reasonable rate. The grand total came to $2,399.36. And again, we could play with this a little bit, I think, and get it down under $2,000 pretty easily. You know, if we didn't drive as much, if we're more careful on the tolls, if we, you know, cut down the hair care a little bit and things like that, it probably would be a little easier to save a little bit more money. It's not bad. It's doable. It's doable for us. So I don't know, you can consider your own budget and see if you think it's affordable. But for us, we're not spending any more than we were in Minnesota. Actually, we're spending way less. Our apartment rent there was $1,450, and it was going up. If we had stayed there another year, it would have been, I think, $1,550. So that was just for the apartment rent. So you can see the difference. And a lot of these other expenses would have been about the same. Actually, we would have been paying more in some areas for like the storage of the travel trailer and things. And I've never really sat down and done a comparison as to what we would have been paying had we stayed in Minnesota. But we are saving money having moved here. So you can live in Florida as a minimalist fairly cheaply and make it work. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have questions or comments, please leave them below and I will answer them if I can and try to help you. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.
Sometimes I understand I'm making all the wrong demands in life. It never pays in